Doctor, what is your opinion on the withdrawal of the notification on the proposal to declare Aldana village and other villages as urban village under the Goa Land Revenue Code?
First thing, that notification was a suspicious notification because the basis for making this notification sought to be revived because it was a letter which came from the Director of Panchayats to the Panchayats through the BDO, saying that the government wants to revisit its earlier decision of 2020 which had been revoked. In 2020, if you remember, there was a proposal directly they notified in January 2020 56 villages as urban villages. And then after noise was made, even I had raised objection. I said this is a beginning of destruction of the villages. And finally, on 20th February 2020, the government issued notification withdrawing it. The question is, now we are in 2026. What was the reason, what was the need, the justification on the eve of election? Is it that the government wanted to change the status of the village panchayats, give benefits probably to builders and some certain lobbies? Are there certain politicians who are directly involved into real estate owners, brokers, or they are the ones who are actually into property deals, who wanted to make some fast buck out of properties here in our constituency, including Aldana? Even Moira village, we had taken a Gram Sabha resolution opposing this. This was the first village panchayat in entire Goa which opposed this and took a Gram Sabha resolution. Then started a series of other panchayats taking decisions. But Moira village was the first which opposed, and we even said if the government decides to go ahead, we will challenge it in the court. Now I want to tell you something which you must also know in addition. What is the basis to call our Aldana urban? If you want to say that there is a population expansion, there are more people in this village, then you have to keep the data of other villages. Because if there is a proportionate increase, then there is no justification. Secondly, census is still underway. The census of our nation is not complete. So what statistics are you using? What data are you using to declare only two particular villages? It means these villages were under your lens, under your scrutiny, probably for having a field of a day for development and for making your own personal pockets full. Third, if you look very carefully, it is a proposal to declare these two villages and the other 54 villages, total 56 villages, as urban villages under the Land Revenue Code. I repeat, under the Land Revenue Code and not under the Panchayat Raj Act. Therefore, when it is under the Land Revenue Code, the first thing is the Revenue Department should have issued a notification saying we intend to do it. The question is, why did the Director of Panchayat send a letter to the Panchayats? What has the Panchayat Directorate to do with it? What has the Panchayat Minister to do with it? I think the Minister of Panchayats has to explain and the Director of Panchayats has to explain why they took on the role, why they assumed jurisdiction of the Revenue Department to send this notification saying the Revenue Department, they use the word government. We are not fools, we know what is government. A government means the minister in charge of that department, and therefore the Minister of Revenue is Babush Monserrat, not Marvin Goodino, who is the Minister of Panchayats. If a decision is taken, Marvin cannot take the decision, it is Babush who has to take the decision on the land revenue matters. And therefore, why did this notification, direction, communication come from Director of Panchayats and not directly from them? Even tomorrow, if there is a proposal for land acquisition, it is the Revenue Department of the Land Acquisition which will issue the notification. They will get objections, they will hear objections, and then a final order is passed. It can't be the Panchayat will issue notice, Panchayat will hear and the government will decide. No, this is not the law. One cannot hear and the other cannot decide. The law is one who hears has to decide, but you must have jurisdiction to first issue the notice, to hear the objections and take a decision. So therefore, this entire move was suspicious. That is why entire Goa was up in arms, and this is a clear victory of every person in Goa who opposed this urbanization plan, a sinister plan which would give unfettered development rights to these lobbyists, to the builders, and also to those who probably have held property, purchased property, and now probably will go to make sale by telling them the value has increased because now the proportions for urbanization has increased. Including, don't forget, under CRZ regulations, if it is an urban area, you will have it, you can probably, because it's permissible, to classify these areas as CRZ2. Remember, there's a CRZ3 and a CRZ2. In urban areas, it is CRZ2. So what was the game? Do you understand? You and I, we Goans are being told, this is the law, you cannot do, you are prohibited, and all law is thrown at our face. But when the property is sold to somebody else, especially non-Goan, he overnight changes everything, all the zoning, everything changes, and he gets to build. This is the type of a government we have, which is out just not to finish Goa, but to finish Goans and to make sure that we will become strangers in our own land. Time to get rid of these people.
Take this one also. Sarpanch, now that this notification has been withdrawn, what about the Gram Sabha to be held tomorrow?
Now, technically, I have also discussed with our Honorable MLA that what can we do about it. So, since the notification is withdrawn, we cannot have a discussion on it. And the withdrawal notice is officially sent by the DOP to the BDO, and the BDO has officially, through electronic means, have sent it to my secretary. So, the withdrawal notification is already in the Panchayat office. So, on those grounds, I think we'll have to call back the extraordinary Gram Sabha. But we have our scheduled ordinary Gram Sabha, which will come up in July. These concerns we will address at the ordinary Gram Sabha for sure, by taking it as one of the agenda points where people can express their opinion, and we can still write to the government, irrespective whether there is a notification or no notification, that please do not consider Aldona to be considered under an urban area any time in the next 100-200 years. We want it to remain as it is. So this is what we can, of course, discuss in the ordinary Gram Sabha. But the extraordinary Gram Sabha, probably I may have to most likely withdraw the notice for Sunday, which we will try to inform our residents and the voters that it stands withdrawn on account of receiving the notice from the DOP. Thank you.